Hey guys, so we have an interesting kind of video here today. So today I'm going to be showcasing all 32 of my relocation team mods for Madden 24. And so if you don't know how to mod Madden 24, I'm sure there's other videos on how to do it. I'll also, at the end of this video, show you how to install them for my mods. It'll also, obviously work for any of the other mods that are located on the MMC Discord that you can go look at after this video. But so what I have today is I have all 32 relocation teams in a bracket here. And so what we're going to do is, as we look at the two teams, you're going to see screenshots on the screen, and I'm basically just going to, do a bracket fight with all 32 relocation teams. I thought this was the funnest way to kind of show you all 32 teams, relocation uniforms I've made. Also, I'll have a timestamp on the bar, all 32 of the teams. So if you want to see a certain team's uniform, you can just go to that timestamp. But we're going to do this bracket fight here. So first up, we got the Mounties and the Oilers. So the Mounties actually I use in my own personal franchise. I'm in like the year 2038. So they were one of the first uniforms I made. I love them. They've gone through a couple renditions over the years, but they got like, I tried doing it without the gold in the logo, and then I learned that there's some issues with modding when you change logos. So I went to a version that has gold in it, and I really like it. So Mounties, really good uniforms. Moving to the Oilers, they were one of the later ones I did. Really hard to try and incorporate the red and try to, since it's already been an NFL team, this is one of the hardest ones to do. But I think I kind of got the gist of what I wanted to get out of the Oilers uniforms. So for this one, I think I'm going to pick the Mounties personally, just because, a little bit of bias. I've played with the Mounties for so long, this entire Madden 24 season. So yeah. Next up, we got the Condors and the Antlers. Let me just tell you right out of the gate, the Condors have already one of the best relocation base uniforms in Madden 24, but I think I did make some slight improvements to it. I kept the uniform and the pants as they are, but made a couple of tweaks to it, and I think they improved them a little bit. The helmet, I'm not so sure about. Madden did a pretty cool job with the black mat and then the wings of the logo on there. I kind of got rid of that. But the Antlers uniforms, I was actually pretty surprised on how I did with the Antlers uniforms, because they have a hidden secondary logo in their end zone, and I used that as the helmet logo. It's literally like a reindeer or something with the antler, which everywhere else the logo is just the antler, and it'd be so much cooler if they actually used like the deer or whatever it is. So I used that on the helmet, which I think is pretty cool, and it was hard to try and get a sense of how I should incorporate these colors, but I think I did a pretty cool job. That said, though, I think the Condors take this one just because they're the Condors. It's a sick, like, double purple pink color type. It's just cool. Moving on to the Elks and the Blues. So the Elks, they're pretty cool. They got a blackout uniform. They got, the blue and the yellow, which are two good contrast colors. And yeah, the helmet, the reflection on the helmet's nice. And I think I kept the, again, going back to Antlers, I kept the antler look that the Madden 24 base game had. And then moving on to the Blues, pretty standard uniform, since it's basically just, well, as the name says, blue. So I think with that said, I'm going to go with the Elks here. Moving on to the Caps and Golden Eagles. The Golden Eagles was so hard to do, mainly because originally when I started this whole thing, I wanted to kind of experiment with changing the logos, and I wanted to make the Golden Eagles actually gold. But learning about, how to change the logos and stuff, it actually messes with some of the other relocation logos. Like if the team name is through R to Z, then they're just invisible for some reason. So I decided to just not mess with the logos at all. So the Golden Eagles, they're green and red and black, and they have a really cool alternate with the black and green, and they have really cool homes and aways with kind of like a candy cane vibe with some green mixed in there. Then moving over to the Caps, kind of it's giving a little bit of Patriots, a little bit more saturated Patriots with a different top shoulder part of the jersey. But with that said, I'm definitely going Golden Eagles. I think their color scheme with the alternate especially just gives them the upper hand. Moving on, we got the Lumberjacks here. The Lumberjacks, I gotta say, for having brown and red as their primary and secondary colors, I think I actually did pretty well with this one. The home uniforms I actually kind of like. They remind me of the Cardinals a little bit. So yeah, and then moving on to the Monarchs. The Monarchs, dude, I was actually kind of impressed with how I did with these. It's kind of like a Giants vibe with a little bit of a darker red. And I think I actually really like the Monarchs uniforms here. I like the shoulder things I did on the shoulder, not the sleeve, the shoulder, like to like the left and right of like the neck area. I really like that. I tried to make like an M in it, but it kind of didn't really work, but it's still cool. So for that, I'm taking the Monarchs over this. Just the color scheme alone is way better than the Lumberjacks, so we're going with Monarchs there. Next up, we got the Snowhawks, and the Snowhawks, it's interesting. I feel like the Snowhawks have had one of the better Madden uniforms over the years, but in Madden 24, they just completely decimated them because just every single relocation uniform uses the same numbers, and it's just so weird. I don't know why they did that. I guess they just didn't want to put time into making. They literally could have used the numbers from the 2013 files, which I actually did incorporate in a lot of these, like the Sentinels coming up here, but I didn't with the Snowhawks, and I kind of regret it because the numbers on the Snowhawks don't look that good. But yeah, moving on to the Sentinels. The Sentinels, I'm already telling you, they get the win here. The Sentinels uniforms are awesome. It's kind of like a Lions color palette with a little bit of a darker blue, or like a royal blue-ish type of vibe. But I like it. All three uniforms are a dub. You got the blackout alternates, which are on the picture, and then you got like a silver, blue, silver home, and then like a silver, silver, blue away. It's really nice. We're taking the Sentinels here. And then we got the River Hogs and the Thunderbirds. This might be the toughest matchup of the first round. The River Hogs, I just love their color palette. Like, I'm going to tell you, they're going to make it far just because of their color palette alone. Their color palette is so good. I remember using them like in earlier Maddens, and their color palette is just so good. The Thunderbirds, though, actually have a pretty good color palette as well. They got like some red and some white and some orange. And there's actually some orange alternates, like it's just orange from head to toe, and it's pretty cool. But I think I still got to go with the River Hogs. The Thunderbirds being out first round is kind of upsetting, but I mean, they went up against probably one of the best color palettes in the league, so unfortunate there. Another tough matchup, the Black Knights and the Shamrocks. So the Black Knights uniforms, kind of similar to the Monarchs, the two former London designated relocation teams, kind of have a similar vibe, but with the black and the red. It's really cool. I like them. Moving on to the Shamrocks, though, they got two types of green, which is very unique, and then for the alternates, they have an all orange, kind of like the Thunderbirds, but a little bit brighter. It's really cool. I think, despite that, though, I think I'm gonna have to go with, you know what, we're gonna go with the Shamrocks. The all orange is sick. It's like kind of like a Miami University vibe. It's really cool. Okay, so now we got the Wizards and the Nighthawks. This is kind of like a iffy sort of uniforms. It's two uniforms that are my favorite but aren't bad as well. The Wizards, they got like a nice matte purple, kind of like Minnesota Vikings kind of feel, and then for the alternate, they kind of have a matte black helmet, which I think is really good. They got some LSU colors in there, or Minnesota Vikings colors, and so that's kind of like the inspo for that. But the pants got the stars on it. It's really cool. And I don't remember which picture I picked for. I think it's just the home uniforms with the purple gold. Moving on to the Nighthawks, another purple colored team. They're all purple homes, are pretty cool. They got all blacks, and then they have just some white-ish, grayish away uniforms with the purple helmet. I think I'm going to give the Nighthawks the edge in this one just because that all purple and all blacks are so sick. So moving on, we got the Orbits and the Huskies, and I think the Orbits was actually the last team I did, or no, it was the second to last team I did. The Condors was the last team I did. Pretty cool. I made them a while ago with a different color, and then did them again with the default Orbits color. I like them. I like the experimental galaxy alternate. Yeah, it's a pretty cool color palette. I like the triple mismatch uniforms for this one. And then moving to the Huskies, I'm not a big fan of the Huskies uniform. I gotta be honest. I didn't really try that much with the Huskies. I kind of let the base uniforms kind of go there and just kind of did some minor adjustments. The numbers also aren't the best. And this was one of the ones that I tried to do 3 different helmet colors for. So Yeah, there's like I think I use like Superstar KO helmets for this. I don't remember. But I'm giving the edge to the Orbits here just because they're newer, and I think I did a better job with them. Now the Aviators and Desperados, these are two uniforms that I actually like a lot. So starting with the Aviators, it's like a UNC vibe. You got like the white primary helmet, and then white pants with the powder blue, whatever you want to call it, Tar Heel blue, whatever you want to call it, home jersey. I really like this style. And then you got like the away where it's just the jersey and pants swapped. But then the alternate jerseys go crazy. They're all black. It's really cool. Desperados also, cool. They got some triple mismatch club going on. It's cool. But I think just overall the Aviators just sweep the board. All three facets of uniforms aspects. Just go to the Aviators there. Desperados are a good uniform, but they're going against similar to the River Hogs Thunderbirds matchup. The River Hogs are just a really good uniform. Same with the Aviators. They got a really good color palette. So color palette's just gonna reign supreme in this, if you can't tell. Speaking of color palette, Dreadnoughts and Steamers, both boat teams. I don't know how they ended up together, but they did. I swear, I just picked randomize. I put all 32 teams in this, and then I just clicked where's the button? Oh, maybe it's not there now because I already started the tournament. But you just click randomize, and then it just puts them all into a seating here. And it just happened to put the two boat teams together. So that's pretty cool. But the Dreadnoughts are a really cool set. I like the Dreadnought set a lot. They got like an all navy with the matte helmet I really like, and they got like an all silver or an all gray look that I really like. Of course, you can mismatch them however you want, but I like those two personally. And then moving on to the Steamers, I think they're an underrated team. Got a lot of color combo possibilities with the the black and red and the gray. I think the black helmet though is probably my favorite part of it. I like matte helmets if you couldn't tell, but I think I'm going to give the edge to the Dreadnoughts here because the all navies and the all grays in game just, oh my gosh, it looks so good. That's definitely one of my favorite uniforms. That Aviators Dreadnoughts round is going to be hard to pick between, man. Oh boy. Okay. Next we got Bisons and Tigers. So the Bisons were one of the older ones I did, but their color palette's just so cool. It's kind of like the OKC Thunder a little bit, but with a darker blue. And I don't know why, but Madden base game decided to make the Bison's helmet yellow, even though literally the only yellow in the logo, I'm pretty sure, is like the eyes. I don't know why they did that. Or no, it's actually in the very like thin outline of the logo as well, I think. But I don't know why they made it that. So I changed that, but kept like the bullhorn helmet because that's just cool. But yeah, very cool, standard blue and orange contrast color vibe there. Moving on to the Tigers though, they were also one of the first ones I made. I tried to go experimental with the numbers, doing like the tiger stripes in the numbers. They kind of worked, kind of didn't. That was kind of before I learned how to like do the numbers properly with like sizing them up, so they're kind of like thick and like not tall enough. But yeah, so I think because of that, I'm going to give the Bisons the edge here. If the Tigers were made a little bit later, when I had more knowledge of how to make uniforms, they might have gotten the edge. But for this one, the Bisons are going to get the edge. Next up, we got the Voyagers and the Armadillos. So the Voyagers were another one, believe it or not, that I did first. And I don't think I actually came out with them for a while. They were actually one of the latest ones to get released. It's weird. They were one of the first ones I made and one of the last ones to get released because the alternate has like a galaxy theme similar to the Orbits. So yeah, I never released them because I didn't know how they looked, but I just said, hey, whatever, let's go for it and release it. And I think it actually works pretty well. I don't remember which picture I chose for them, but if they don't have the galaxy uniforms, I guess you'll just have to go look at it in the Discord or install the mod for yourself and look at them. I mean, again, you're going with the contrast colors with the blue and yellow. So yeah, moving on to the Armadillos though. The Armadillos also have a good color palette. They got the black, the red, and the kind of yellowish tan vibe. And so I played with the Armadillos like in my Madden 16 franchise on the Xbox 360. So obviously I was like a big Armadillos, like I just wanted to make these as best as possible. And I kind of got a Birmingham Stallions color palette vibe going on. So I kind of like copied the Birmingham Stallions a little bit for these, and I think it worked out pretty well. They got like the, you know, gold, red, gold for the home, and then like for the blackouts, oh, the blackouts are cool. So I think for this, I'm going to give the Armadillos the edge just because, you know, the color palettes again rule in this. So yeah. Pioneers and Bulls. Would you believe it, again, the Pioneers are one of like the probably first like 5 to 10 I did. So Pioneers aren't the greatest. They have a very interesting color palette though. It was interesting to work with that color palette. It's a weird color palette, but I think I made it work pretty well. It's got I think it only has, does it have 1 helmet or 2 helmets? I can't remember. I try to make each uniform mod have 2 helmet types, like 1 for home and away and 1 for alternate. But I can't remember if the Pioneers have only 1 helmet option. I can't remember. But yeah, they're one of the first ones I did, so they're not great, but I think they're still pretty good for the color palette and what I had to work with. Moving on to the Bulls, I kept it pretty simple for the Bulls, but I kind of like it. Just the 1 shoulder stripe I think is really cool. And then just the color palette again. I mean, it's similar to the Dreadnoughts color palette. And so I think probably for that reason alone, honestly, the Bulls are going to get the edge there just because of the color palette. Also, I got rid of the bullhorn helmet, but I brought it back in the alternate helmet. So if you still want to use that helmet, you can just take the alternate helmet and use it on the home or away. Moving on to the last 2 teams of round 1, though, we have the Dragons and the Redwoods. So the Dragons, I'm telling you now, they're probably going to make it far. Because again, color palette rules. It's black and red. It's very hard to mess up black and red. But, oh my gosh, these all blacks, dude, on the screen, oh my gosh, they're so cool. The numbers, I actually weren't planning to have primarily black. They were going to be primarily red or white. I can't remember. But the asset, the team asset, it had the alternate and home uniforms sharing the same number. So I had to pick between if I wanted the home jersey to be red and then have red numbers, or I wanted the alternate jersey to be black and be black numbers. So I picked black and black numbers, so then the red jersey, home jersey, could have red on black numbers. I think so. It was a little bit ago, but I think that's how that worked. Super cool uniforms though, super cool uniforms. Moving on to the Redwoods. I think I did a pretty good job for, again, like similar Antlers colors, but more vibrant and saturated, darkened. They're pretty good. I think they're matte, which, you know, I'm a fan of matte helmets. But yeah, I think I did a pretty good job for, you know, the color palette given. But I mean, the Dragons, there's no sugarcoating it. The Dragons are the clear winner here. So that's, you know, showcasing all 32 teams through pictures. You can go on the Madden Modding Community Discord, which you can access through the pinned comment. I can't link links in the description yet because this is too new of a channel, but you can click the link in the description to go to the Madden Modding Community Discord, and then I'll show you later in this video after this bracket how to install the mods. You can go on there and look at all the pictures of the uniforms and stuff like that as well. So we'll just speed through these next few rounds here so we can get to that. So now, since you've seen pictures of all of the uniforms, we'll kind of just speed through this. So Mounties and Condors, I think I'm going to give the edge to the Condors here. The color palettes are going to rule on this. Elks and Golden Eagles, I think I'm actually going to give the edge to the Elks here because they're all blacks, are really cool. Monarchs and Sentinels, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to give it to the Sentinels though. All blacks, really cool. Monarchs don't have a black in their logo, so they kind of lose that there. But the blue and red are actually really nice. Hogs and Shamrocks, Hogs are going to rule that. Their color palette is amazing. I think their uniforms are probably one of the best I've done. Moving over here, we got Nighthawks Orbits. I think I'm going to give it to the Nighthawks. They're all purples, are just really unique. Aviators Dreadnoughts is going to be a tough one. I'm going to give it to the Dreadnoughts though, I think, because they're navy with the matte. I just love matte navy. And then the matte gray, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Bisons, Armadillos, I'm going to go Armadillos there. The Birmingham Stallions vibe I really like over the Bisons contrast colors. Bulls and Dragons, no competition there again. The Dragons are probably one of the best uniforms I've made. Going back over here, Condors, Elks, I think I'm going to give it to the Elks actually. No, Condors are really good. Again, color palette rules. Same with this one. Hogs get the dub there against the Sentinels. It's just color palette at this point. Nighthawks, Dreadnoughts, I'm going Dreadnoughts. and Armadillos Dragons, I'm going Dragons. It's just color palette at this point. You've seen all the uniforms already. It's just color palette at this point. Condors, River Hogs, I like blue more than purple. Dragons and Dreadnoughts, I like the red and black. So your finale is River Hogs and Dragons. Who's gonna get the win? I think I think I'm going to go with the River Hogs. The River Hogs just have such a good color palette. I cannot understate it enough. It's like the Seahawks a little bit, but without the green, and then they introduce a new type of blue. So it's just really cool. I love the River Hogs. The logo, the color scheme, everything. The Dragons is a very close second, though. The Dreadnoughts is a close third. Condors a close fourth. Sentinels a close fifth. Armadillos a close sixth. You get that point. So there's my bracket for all 32 relocation mod uniforms I've made. And yeah, so you've gotten to see all the uniforms. So now I'll actually, in the next part, get to show you how you can install the mods for yourself. Okay, so now how to install these mods, you're wondering? Well, here we go. So once you enter the Madden Modding Community Discord, you might be on the browse channel screen, you might be on the general chat, you might be on some rules page, I'm not really sure, but you want to go ahead and obviously accept the rules or whatever, so you get all of the access to the Discord. And then I don't have all of the tabs on here, I customized it, but you might have more than me, but we're just gonna go to browse channels to see all of them. So what you want to do first and foremost, if you haven't done modding before, go to install, download guide tutorials right here, and go under modding installation. You want to install Madden Spark and Frosty Mod Manager. So Spark, what's going to do is it's going to activate the mods, and then the Mod Manager is where you input the mods and launch the game. So those two you have to do mods. So go ahead and set that up. And then we're going to come down to community mods here. If it's not on the left for some reason, you can scroll down here and browse channels, and it's right here. And then, of course, if I've already done this, but if I'm not towards the top, you can just enter search right here, just triple or relocation or something, and it'll pop up right here. And so then you can look at this bottom post right here and click one of these two links, or, you know, you click the link, there's a bunch of teams here, or you can click the other link, and there's more teams here, or you can click the pin message here and it's right here for you as well. So say you wanted to go Nighthawks or something, you click here, boom, here it is. Triples Nighthawks edit, you would download this. You can download this wherever you want, downloads folder, a special folder for mods, whatever you do. So then once you've done that, you're gonna wanna load Frosty and you're gonna wanna load your Madden Spark. After you download that, you're gonna wanna load your Frosty and your Madden Spark. After this, you're gonna wanna hit add mods, add the mod you downloaded wherever you put it, and then you're gonna, you know, find it wherever in here. I have a bunch of mods, so it's hard for me to scroll. But then we just go right here, say install Bulls, you just click it, apply mods, and boom, it's down here. Remember that the bottom is the highest priority, as it says right here, and the top is the lowest. Don't know if that applies for uniform mods when compared to like a gameplay mod or something, but do make sure if you have two uniform, like say you have like, you downloaded like two Falcons uniform mods, the one that has the highest priority is obviously going to be the one that actually changes things in the game. So then once you're done with that, you're just going to hit activate mods here and then launch the game. And when I say that's literally it, that's literally it. That's all you have to do. Just make sure sometimes, you know, just for some reason when you activate Spark and launch the game, sometimes it doesn't work. Just exit out and try it again. Sometimes that happens, but yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching.